Hey guys, in this tutorial, we're going to add some more details to our social feed. We're going to fix some problems from the last video, and we will set up our comment model as well so we can add the ability to add comments to the posts in the next video. This will be one or two videos to finish the social feed. I'm going to make another one soon where we add the ability to add comments, list them on each post, and delete the comments, as well as restrict some of these views based on who's logged in, but that will come in a few days. For now, we're just going to add these first pieces in this video. Also, I've been working on improving the quality of these videos, so hopefully they look and sound a little better than before. Uh, I'm also going to use Linux on this new computer, so my commands in the terminal might be slightly different than before. I will use a virtual environment from this point forward. I'll make a video later on how to setting one up and how to use it, but for now you should be able to keep following along with the previous commands you used before. If you have any problems with that or with getting everything running, leave a comment. I'll try to help you with it if you need it. With that said, let's get started adding to this project. So the first thing we'll need to do is fix a couple things with redirect after they log in. So right now, if I were to log in, I'm already logged in right now. If we go ahead and log out, so I'll go to accounts slash logout, I think it is. Yeah. So I should be logged out now. We'll log into the admin account. It takes me here, but I don't want to go here because right now this login is going to redirect me back to this page. I really want to go to the social feed right here. So once I log in, I want it to take me to here. And I also don't want this link to take, if I'm logged in, I don't want this link to take me back to this page. This page should only be for users who are not logged in at all. So let's go ahead and make the change. If you're logged in, this will be the new index page. So we open up Sublime here. And the first thing we do is change the redirect URL instead of our settings.py. So if I go to my settings.py, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this login redirect URL goes to index, which is the landing page. We don't want that. We'd rather it go to that social feed page, which is post-list. So if I change this here to post-list and save that, that should fix that problem. And now when it comes to this problem where this page takes me to the landing page, I can edit my navigation bar and add just an if statement to make that, to fix that problem. So let's go to my templates within my landing, I believe. Go to templates, landing, yes, right here in navbar.html. I'll pull this out. Let's see here. Come landing to navbar.html. And right here somewhere, where is it? Oh no, right down here. So this link right here takes me to the navbar brand. It takes me here to the index page. So I need to add a Django templating syntax if statement to make this change to either send it to this index page if they're not logged in or to the social feed if they are logged in. So what I can do here is I can go around this href. I'll put an if statement. So let's go ahead and put this on separate lines. So I'll break this down here and I'll take this down here. And above this first href, I can put two curly braces, 2% signs, well, it's not dollar signs, 2% signs. And I can go ahead and type if user.is underscore authenticated. What do we want to do? We want to go ahead and send them to the social feed. So I can do another href equals, and in quotes here I can do my normal URL syntax, two curly braces, 2% signs, do URL, and in the quotes post-list, take me to the social feed. And then I can go ahead down here, I can put my curly braces, 2% signs, and do else. And if we're not logged in, we want to go here to this index page. So then I'll put this right here. And then with any Django if statement or like any block, content block or for loop or whatever, you need to end the block. So I can go ahead below this href here, 2%, two curly braces, 2% signs, and do end if. Save that. And that should be all we need to go ahead and make this update. I'm gonna go and delete this extra spacing here, save that. Now let's jump back into our browser here. So reload the page. There's no error, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and test it out. So if I click on the social network, it still redirects me back to the same page. If I were to go here and sign out, and then log back in here to my admin account, log back in, it takes us right to the social feed. So that problem's fixed. That's all you want to do here, just to make sure that this is working correctly. Although there is one issue, it looks like. Our icon is gone. So I might have put something in the wrong spot. Let's go ahead and just double check that real quick. Did I delete the icon or was it not there? There should be an icon right below here. I'm not sure why it's not there. Maybe I forgot to add it in. Let's go ahead and just add the icon in, back in if I didn't put it in first, but right here there should be a I tag with a class equal to FAS, FA-comment. We're using Font Awesome for this. I'll go ahead and close off that tag. And this right here, actually, we'll cut this out here. And we'll put it inside of here. So we'll put it right here. We'll paste the icon right there. And we'll go ahead and save that, see if that fixes it. There we go. Now our icon's back. And that should show up. Look at the code again. That's outside of this if statement, so it should show up automatically every time. Okay. I'm not sure if I forgot that in the last video or not, but there should be an icon here in case I did forget that. All right, with that done, let's go ahead and add the post detail page, the ability to get a post. So when we click on a post, we want to go to a separate page that will list the post and all of its comments on that post. I guess I'm kind of looking at the Twitter sort of model on this, where if you tap on a post, it'll take you to like the post with all the comments listed below it. That's kind of what we want to do here. So to make this change, we will need to add another view and then add another URL and a template to do this. So let's first jump into our views.py to add that view. So if I open this back up here, I go down to my social. So if I find my social and my views.py, we have our post list view. And below that, I'm going to go ahead and create another class. I'll call this one post detail view. I'll pass in view. And then let's go ahead and here and scroll down so this is a little easier to see. And in this view, we're gonna have the same as before, where we have just our generic view class right here that we're inheriting from. So we'll need to put a get method to handle any get requests and a post method to handle any post requests. In this case, when you click on a post, it will do a get request to just display everything. And then on that page, there'll be a form to add a comment. And if you press submit on that form, it will then do a post request to that same URL to actually post the comments on that post. Hopefully that makes sense. So first, let's handle the get request. So we'll do def get, and we'll pass it self request pk, because we'll need to get the actual primary key for that post to know which one we want to load. And we'll put this into our URL to differentiate between one post or another post. If that doesn't make sense, hopefully we'll once we finish this. So for now, let's put that in there. Also do star args and star wargs. Now below that, let's go ahead and do post equals. And we're going to get this post that we passed in as the PK here. So whatever we pass into our URL will be in this variable. And so to get that post, we can do post.objects.get pk equals pk. And then below that, we're gonna add a form, but for now, let's go ahead and just render this template out. Add the form in a little bit. So first we'll pass into our context post and post, just so we can access that post that we passed in to our URL within our template. And then below that, we're gonna go ahead and do return render requests, and then social / post detail.html, which we'll create here in a second and pass in our context as well. Let's go ahead and save that. And now let's go ahead and create this post detail HTML. So let's go ahead into templates, social, there's our post list. Let's create a new file, and we'll save this as post_detail, which is what we called it. in our views here. Yeah, post underscore detail. And so now this is gonna be very similar to the post list. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this to give them a starting point. So I'll go and just do copy this and come over here and paste it right here. We'll leave this in here for now because we'll need this once we add the form later. But for now, let's go ahead and make a couple of changes here. So first, instead of this title here of add a post, I'm gonna make a change with this. I'm gonna delete our justify content center. I'm gonna add this margin top, add a lower margin to be 5, and I'll change this to, I guess, 6 will probably be fine. I guess it won't really matter since it's going to be a line left. We'll get rid of our border bottom, and in this row here, I want to add a back button to go to the back to the social feed. And so, and give this h5 here, and I'm gonna replace it with an a tag, with anchor tag, and the href on that will equal just our post list. So this will just take us back to where we were before. So I'll do URL and pass in quotes post dash list. And inside of this text here, close the tag off first. And inside of this tag here, I'm gonna go and just type back to feed. There we go. Go ahead and save that. And now below here we have our form, which for now I'm gonna go ahead and you know what, for now I'll just go ahead and just comment it out because we're gonna use something similar to this in a minute. But for now we don't need it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this for loop right here and delete this in4 down here. I'm gonna grab this row, cut it out, put it above this form here, paste that right there. Oh, actually, I don't want this last div though. I'm just gonna put that back where it was, right down here. Oops, there we go. And so now in this row here, we want to display the post. So we'll have a row, justify the content center, margin top -3. We'll do a column, MD5, and SM12, border bottom, that's all good. We'll display the post author within a strong tag and the create on date, that looks good. And we'll post that body right there, that looks good. So we'll display the post the same way right here. If you want to change it up, you can, but for now, I'm gonna leave it the same. Go ahead and save that. And I will come back and add the form in a second, but for now that should work. I'm just displaying that post. So let's go ahead and jump into our URLs, and let's go ahead and add a URL for this post detail view. So up the top here, my urls.py, and this is within my social app. I'm gonna go ahead and do post detail view. And then down here, we'll create another path. Pass in let's do post slash, and then I'm going to pass in the primary key of the post that we clicked on. And so I can put inside of less than and greater than sign, I can put int colon pk. And what this is doing here is we're saying we want to pass in a number, an integer, and that integer will be saved as a variable called pk. So now within our views.py, we have access to this variable called pk, which will be right here. And now we can access that anywhere we want. In this case, we want to get the post based on what that number is. So you pass in the primary key into this get. So whatever post where this primary key matches, it will return it here, and we can then render that in the template. And so now with that done, that's our URL pattern. Let's go ahead and do our post detail view .as underscore view like we do for all class-based views. We'll do a name, name equals post dash detail. Add a trailing comma there. We'll go ahead and save that. And now we should be able to go to any post slash any number to access that primary key to access that post. So let's go ahead and try it out real quick. So back in here, if I go up to the top here, I do social post slash, let's say 1. And now there we go. So now we have a post showing right here. We'll show a comment little form right here, and all of our comments will go down here later. We also have to go to back to feed. I did not make that look how I wanted to though, so let's go ahead and make one more change there. So back inside of my post detail.html, I made this link, but I didn't add any classes to it. So let's go ahead and add a class equaling to oops, let's go outside of quotes there. We'll do a class equals, and we'll make it look like a button. So we'll do btn-light. Save that. Those are just Bootstrap styles. That will make it look a lot better. Come back here. Let's go back to that same post. And now we'll see the button looks a lot better. We can click back to feed, and it goes back to the feed. Perfect. So now with that working, let's go ahead and be able to access them by clicking on these different posts down here. Now, I want to be able to click on anywhere within inside of this row, and it'll take me there. And so Bootstrap has this stretched link class where we can stretch it to the next relative parent container. So the parent container will need to have a position relative on it, and we can apply a stretch link tag, and that link will then stretch the entire parent. If it doesn't make sense, hopefully it will once we type it out here in a second. So the first thing we want to do is jump into our post list.html. So we'll go back here. Let's go into our post list, and we want to add some things here to this row. I want to do a couple things. So first, the parent container for all this text here is this column. So on this column here, I'm going to do a position dash relative to give it a relative position. And now below here, I'm going to add a link with a href, and this href will go to URL, and then in quotes we'll put post dash detail, which is the name of that route we just created for the detail post, and we need to pass an argument. So we'll do post.pk. And so what we're doing here is we're passing in the primary key of each post. So every Django object has its unique primary key. We can access that by going from each post that we're looping through .pk. So post.pk within our URL. That will then go into our URL here, and we'll pass in post slash and whatever primary key we're on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, we'll go in here. Now our reviews, we're taking that pk and saving it as a variable called pk and passing it within our arguments. And then we can go ahead and find that post by doing a post.objects.get pk equals whatever this pk value is. So hopefully that makes sense. With that done, I'm going to go ahead and type no text within here. Just close off the tag. With that saved, let's go ahead and jump back into our browser, reload the page, and now we should be able to click. Oh, I also need to add the stretch link class. So let's add a class. This will be stretched dash link. We'll go ahead and save that. So this will then stretch it all the way up until we get to this position relative, which in this case is this entire thing right here. Okay, we'll go ahead and save that. Now jump back into our browser, reload the page, and now I can hover over it. My cursor turns to a pointer. I can click on it, and that takes us to that post. I go to the one below it. It'll say hello, and then below that, second post. So we're getting to each correct post. You'll see up here in the URLs what we're getting. We have our root URL /social/post, then slash our primary key. So I click on this one right here. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. So I click on this one right here. It should be 3. Up here, you'll see in our URLs 3. Perfect. So with that working, let's go ahead and add our comment box right here, and then we'll create our comment model, and then we should be good. So if we go back to our text editor and jump into, where is it? Let's go to reviews.py, and you'll see up here inside of our post list view for the social feed, we created a form called a post form. We want to do something similar, except we want to create a comment form, and this will be based off a comment model. But we haven't created that comment model yet. So let's go ahead and jump into our models.py and create that right now. So go to models.py. It will have, so we have our post model here. Let's go ahead and add a comment model as well. So I'll come down here and I'll do a class. This will equal comment models.model. And then in here, we can go ahead and we'll create 4 fields. First will be the comment body, and we're just gonna call that comment. And then we'll have a created on, which will be the date it was posted. A post, which will be the actual post object that it's connected to. So that way we can only display comments that are only on that one post. As well as the author, which will be the user that posted the comment. So you'll see it's pretty similar to this, just with a couple changes. So let's go ahead and create that real quick. So we'll do a comment equals models.text field. So that will be our comment body. And then we'll do a created on, which will actually be the exact same thing as what we have up here. So we're going to just copy this line right here, copy that, equals that. Just the date time field, we default it to the time zone dot now, and we will just won't show that in our form, so it automatically always defaults to the current time when it was actually when the submit button was pressed. And then below that, we need an author field. This will be the user that made this comment, which will be the exact same thing right here. So we'll go ahead and copy this and paste that right there. And that's just creating a forward key to the user table. So whatever user is logged in, it will be put within this field here. Perfect. Now the last thing we need to do here, we need to add a post. So post equals, and this will look a lot like the foreign key author field. So we'll do models dot foreign key, and in here in quotes, I need to pass in the name of the class, the model class. So in this case, we want to use this post class. So I'll do in quotes post, and then comment on delete equals models dot cascade, which will just delete all of the comments if the post is deleted. So now with that done, let's go ahead and create our comment form. So we'll put this in the same file as we put our post form inside our forms.py. And up here now, we want to go ahead and import our comment model. And actually, before we forget, let's go ahead and migrate our changes to the database. So I'm going to go ahead, open my terminal, stop the server. Oh, actually, looks like we have an error there. Did I mess something up in my models? Oh yeah, my indentation here was a little messed up. Let's save that. That should fix that problem. Yep. So we'll go ahead and stop that server, and we'll do Python 3 manage.py make migrations. And there we go, create model comment. Now let's go ahead and do Python manage.py migrate. And that should migrate those changes. Let's go ahead and run our server again. And there we go, now it's running. Now let's go ahead and create our comment form. So back here, we imported our comment model. And then we need to go ahead and create another model form just like this. So to make things easier here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this down here. At the beginning here, we'll paste this right here. And we'll change the name here to comment form. So first things first, let's ignore this body equals and this form field here. For now, let's focus on this meta class. So first we need to change this model here to comment, to use our comment model instead. And the field will be comment, because that's what we called it in our models at PY. We replaced body with comment right here. So we use that name here. And that will be the only field that shows up when we actually render this form. And now I'm going to go ahead and make the same sort of change up here. So what we did here in the last one up here for this body field was we created a text area that made it a little bit smaller and added a placeholder text within it, as well as removed the label from it. We really want to do all the same things except for our comment field here. So we can keep all of this exactly the same and just change this variable right here to just a comment. Go ahead and save that. And now with that done, we have our form, and it should automatically save into this comment model whenever we save it. So now let's jump back to our views, and let's go ahead and render this form. So I can come up here. Actually, first let's go up here and import it. So next to post form, put a comma, do comment form. And then down within our post detailed view, I'll create another line here. This will be form equals. Just create a new comment form by putting the name in parentheses afterwards. And then below, inside our context, below post, I'm going to go ahead and create a variable, call it form, and just set equal to form. We'll pass it into our template. So now let's jump back into our post detail and make this change. So let's go ahead and uncomment this line right here. This has our form from our last, from our post list for the post form, but we'll go ahead and just set it up for our comment form as well. So we need a row, justify center, add some padding. Let's go ahead and keep all that the same. We'll do another column, MD5, MD12, border bottom. Let's go ahead and remove the Yeah, let's go ahead and remove this border bottom for now. If it looks better with it, we can add it back later. But yeah, so we'll have a form here with method of post, just same as before. CSRF token and pass in our form, call it the same thing. We have to give it the same name in this view, so we can keep it the same. In our Crispy form, we already have that tagged, added up, loaded up in here, so we can use that there. Use our grid gap and our button success with a submit. So all that's good. We can leave all that the same. Let's go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and jump back and re-render this template. There we go. So now we have a submit button showing up. And that should be it. That's where we're going to stop for this video. Just getting this whole thing set up. We'll come back. Hopefully we post in a few days a video where we'll add the ability to add comments here. So we'll handle a post method within our post details view, as well as the ability to delete these if the current user is logged in is the same one that created these. So we'll add all that functionality here later. But for now, we'll stop here. Thank you for watching. The code will be in the description, as well as the link to the written tutorial. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.